Hi, it's Ralph and Lahni D'Amicus, authors of the Planetary Calendar. We're back with the forecast for December of 2024. And remember, we're doing the weeklies now, so if you want a weekly reminder, you're going to need to press the subscribe button and hit the bell for reminders when you're watching us on YouTube at Planetary Calendar Astrology. So let's jump into the week of the 15th to the 21st of December 2024, and it really starts out with a bang. We've got that Mercury going direct, and that couldn't really save us from that black box because it's still turbulence. When the change of sign happens, it adds sort of turbulence to your day until Mercury gets settled on his path.
Right. We wrote on the calendar, on this electric full moon connecting Jupiter and Mercury, it highlights mass media communications. Guard against overstimulation and information burnout. Mercury turning direct in early Sagittarius adds an optimistic tone to the shortest days of the year. This is good for the fire and air signs. You know who you are. Or you should.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
It's an interesting week because we have annotations on the 15th, on the Sunday, on the Thursday, the 19th, and on Saturday, the 21st. So there's a bunch going on this week.
Well, and after that bang of a day to start the week on that Sunday, at least you get a bit of a break for the 16th and the 17th, because there's really not much going on at all. There is a void, of course, on the 17th that lasts for a good part of the day, 10:30 or so in the morning to about 3:40 p.m. in the middle of the day. So that void, of course, will be active with the moon changing from Cancer to Leo.
Yeah, the 18th is going to be funny, Wednesday the 18th, because there's all those planets lined up over the moon, which makes it a very social day. Mercury's parallel Venus, which is just adds to that sociability because they're both intimate planets. But then you have Venus square Neptune, which is a funny thing because you can't see Neptune without a telescope. Obviously, you can see the sun without a telescope. You don't want to look at it, personally.
I think you said Venus square Neptune, but you meant Sun square Neptune. That's right.
I meant Sun square Neptune.
That's right.
Venus is making an aspect to the moon because Venus will be opposite the moon that day.
Right.
But the Sun square Neptune is a funny aspect. Stuff is going to be going on beneath the surface.
Well, and where did that come from? I mean, I always think the square is that contact at an intersection, called a head-on collision, and so when it's Neptune, it's in the fog or something, you really can't have any visibility at all.
Yeah.
Then we come on to the 19th, which is a white circle day. He got that white circle with his sun trine moon.
Yes.
But there's also a Venus trine Jupiter, which I have a daughter who says that's the day to go to the casino.
Yeah. In fact, we say here, take advantage of this pair of trines for any last-minute shopping, but watch for online technical glitches with Uranus square the moon. So just be aware of that. There's going to be a lot of enthusiasm that day, but watch out for stepping in the potholes, so to speak. But,
going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, but you're talking Venus, Jupiter, the Sun, and the Moon. It's a very, very positive day. Mostly, just that Uranus is like the little flying the ointment, so to speak.
So what happened to the 20th, Friday the 20th? I want to just say again that we put the aspects on the calendar when they're exact.
Yes.
And depending on the strength of the planet or the proximity of the planet, those aspects, of course, are in effect for days before and days after. So just because little lonely Mercury is under the number on the 20th doesn't mean there's not any residual stuff going on for anything else. But it can be a nice breath in for all the planning and chaos that is highlighted on the 15th, 18th, and the 19th.
Yeah, I think you're going to that Venus trine Jupiter will really have some staying power. Just be aware of that because they're just these are planets you feel very personally. Even Jupiter people tend to feel very personally, kind of like a favorite aunt or a favorite uncle. You always appreciate when their gift shows up in the mail. The Sun trine Moon, of course, has a nice flow, especially because depending upon, because this is the trine after the full. It tends to be a very empowering one. A lot of energy comes together now, tends to get expressed at this time.
The 21st, I'm going to let you go with this one when
Yes.
the sun changes sign into Capricorn. But I just want to mention the Ursid meteor showers. Last
Yes.
week we had 2 days of meteor showers. They were the Geminids. This week we also have 2 days, but they go one from Saturday and one we'll talk about next week on Sunday again. But so 2 days of the Ursid meteors.
Yeah, December is a great time for meteors.
Yes.
Which is nice because the sky is usually very clear this time of year because the humidity tends to drop and the sky is cold, so you tend to be able to see things better. But yes, on the Saturday at 21st is the sun enters Capricorn. It is the winter solstice. They always say it's the longest days of the year. It's actually several days. It's not like one single day is the longest. The sun gets to that point and it kind of hangs there for several days, and you get several days of these very long nights and very short days. The sun enters Capricorn. You may resent having to deny your own needs in favor of others. Okay, creating distance between people at a time when we traditionally come together. Consider ways in which your pride may be creating walls that prevent closeness in your relationships. This can be improved by going beyond any old hurts and forgiving all involved. Now, you're thinking, where did this come from, Ralph? If you go back and you look in the day planner or on the digital, go look at the ingress chart of when the sun goes into Capricorn, and it's all right there. That whole thing of having to feel distant from people and yet really desiring that closeness. So work on finding ways to bridge that.
We should post that chart.
Yes, we should post
Yeah,
that
so
chart.
that you can
Yes.
see it.
Yes, having the picture of the chart is a huge help. So it's a very interesting week. Next week is going to be interesting too.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. And in the meantime, if you need your 2025 calendars, you can go to planetarycalendar.com where you can get 2 wall sizes, the pocket, the day planner, and the digital.
Okay.